guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I am going to be doing a DIY project. I am shiplapping the entryway wall, and I have already bought the materials, so I will take you through the process of what to do, what materials you need, and it is a very cost-efficient project. This project has cost me $44.50, and basically all I had to do was buy the plywood. I already had all the materials and the paint here, so if you have to go buy materials, it really honestly won't be that much more expensive. The screws that I'm using are the trim head screws, the ones that I used for my previous projects. I can't remember the exact dimensions of the screws right now, but I will insert in the description box what the dimensions are and stuff like that. But those are literally maybe $2 or $3. So it's very, very cheap, and it's a lot easier to do this simple faux shiplap than actually going and buying the real shiplap, because that's more expensive. So anyway, I hope that you enjoy this tutorial, and let's get right in. So as you remember from my previous videos, this is my entryway wall. I've already taken everything down off of it except for those two little screws. I have to take those out, but this is the wall that I am going to be working with. The dimensions are 89.5 inches and 104 inches tall. So I went to Home Depot today and I bought 1/4 inch by 4 feet by 8 feet plywood boards, and I bought 2 of those, and I had Home Depot go ahead and strip the boards down for me. They are 8 inches, and I will show you what the boards look like. Don't mind my mess in the garage, but that is what the boards look like cut down. I will be sanding them myself, and then I will be just applying them to the wall. So now that they are cut down, I am going to go ahead and start sanding. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and start sanding down my boards. I am using 150 grit sandpaper, and I literally am just going to sand the edges. I'm not going to sand the front or back side necessarily that much, because I want this to be more of a rustic look, and these boards were already pre-sanded. So if I do sand the front, it's just because there might be a couple of spots that have some wood that is sticking out. So I'm just going to make sure that the edges are smooth, and then I am going to move on from there. If you want a more clean look, then by all means I would sand the entire front side of the board and make it as smooth as possible, but I like the more rustic weathered look, so I'm going to leave the boards as natural as possible. So the next thing that we are doing is we are going to go ahead and apply the boards to the wall. Most tutorials that you watch on YouTube, all of them use nail guns to apply the boards. We didn't have a nail gun, and I didn't feel like going out and buying a nail gun, so we decided to use trim head screws. And so we are just going to go ahead and screw these boards into the wall. We did measure again to make sure that they fit, and we marked where the studs are in the walls. So that was one thing that I would recommend, is to make sure that you know where all of your studs are, and screw in your screws or nail in your nails to the studs. So just a tip, and I know that this is something that is super common, but if you want to get the desired little shiplap spaces in between each board, then just use some nickels, and you can space out your boards with nickels. So I'm just testing out the paint color here just to make sure that I like it. I am using the same paint that we used for the trim, so I don't use a stark white paint color, mainly because my trim is more of an off-white. It's like an old white color, and I feel like the stark white next to a like more creamy color would not look good. So I decided to go with the exact same color as my trim. That way everything kind of matches. Plus I think that the off-white is a little bit more pretty and more of like a country type feel, which is what I was going for.
I won't make it easy for you now. You got 2 minutes of my time, and I don't really break too easily, but I'm worth it, 'cause I'll slip into your dreams tonight. Oh, so give me your all. I'll take it to Mars. Oh, I'll stick like glue inside your mind. Just watch me breaking your sweat. You're falling into me, touch me. I swear you would do anything that I want, so keep us awake till the dawn. Baby, feel free. I wanna make you sweat on me. I wanna make you sweat on me. I got you wrapped around my finger.
So we got all the way to the bottom of the wall, and Chad has to measure out the very last piece. We do have to cut it in half, so he is going to take his circular saw and he is just going to run his saw right down the middle of this board. I can't talk today, y'all. He's going to run his saw right down the middle of this board and cut it in half so that it'll fit right along the bottom. We did start from the top. I would recommend starting from the top instead of the bottom because most people's eyes look towards the top of the wall instead of the bottom. So we do have an outlet on the wall. It's at the bottom. So we measured the outlet, we marked it out on the board, and we are using 2 boards. One board is going to, we're going to cut out the top of the outlet for the top of the board, and then the board that goes underneath, we're going to cut kind of like a U shape out, and it's just going to fit securely right underneath the outlet. Okay guys, here is the final look. I think this was honestly one of the most easy DIYs that we have done, but it makes a huge statement in our house, and I just love the way that this turned out. I hope that you enjoyed this tutorial, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye guys.